How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of the Off the Bench podcast. Once again, if you don't know who I am Stephen Fay, and this is...
I am Ryley Guzzello.
And, we're glad to be back again. The first one went well. We had good support, and we're glad to be back. So, to start off, very small amount of school sports happened this weekend because we did have a break. Over the weekend, both the women and men's cross country did participate in events. They were just major cross country meets. I don't think they placed anything, but they were there. Women's volleyball did beat SUNY Canton to improve to a 3-0 record in our conference, which is pretty good because those are big wins and they count for a lot. And then men's soccer, they beat Northern Vermont University 2-0, which is pretty good. They didn't allow any goals. It's a big improvement from last week's soccer. Good job. Anyway, that's all that happened this weekend, as we did have a break. Wasn't a ton of school stuff going on, but now Ryley has a Week 6 NFL recap for us.
Thank you, Steve. I thought it was a very good week of football. We'll start with Thursday night's game. The Buccaneers took on the Eagles in Philly. And there's a lot of concern with Tom Brady's thumb the entire week, especially on a short week, but he proved everyone wrong once again, and he looked flawless. Like, there's nothing even questionably wrong with him. He finished with 297 yards and 2 touchdowns, basically doing Tom Brady things. The score, It was a 28-22 final, but the score was a lot farther apart. If you watch the game, the Eagles came back, and the Buccaneers just put in their subs and stopped trying in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's like the Eagles don't even look to Devontae Smith at all. They just don't even.
Well, Hurts is a mostly run quarterback.
Yeah.
And then they traded Zach Ertz after they went to Arizona.
I know.
Which, going to bed with a losing record and waking up undefeated is probably a good feeling for.
Yeah, it's pretty nice
for Ertz.
I would say I'd feel pretty good.
No, yeah, the Eagles just aren't good. The Buccaneers did what they were supposed to do, and Brady's no issue with.
Yeah,
Brady.
it's like a game they should win.
Yeah. All right, so next game, we had another London game. The NFL likes to send 2 teams that are irrelevant during the year. So it was the Jaguars and Dolphins this time. The Jaguars haven't won in over a year. Finally got their first win on a field goal by the rookie kicker, right? And overall, it was honestly not a horrible game. Tua looked really good his opening drive and then looked average. Jalen Waddle had 2 touchdowns. He looked really good. It wasn't a horrible game. Trevor Lawrence got his first NFL win. Urban Meyer got his first win. It was a good one for the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars probably feel good, and it probably makes Trevor Lawrence feel a little bit better because he's finally got a win.
Yeah.
And he's probably heard a lot of stuff. He's like, he's bad. Like, he's not bad, but he wasn't doing as much as people thought he was going to do. But now he's got the win. He probably feels a lot better now. And he's probably going to be more fueled and have more confidence going on for the rest of the season, I would think.
Yeah. Miami had a couple leads early, and then they kind of fell apart in late fourth quarter. And Tua looked good. He had a really good opening drive, probably the best of his career, honestly. But he had really solid passing numbers, 329 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the Dolphins still have 1 win on the season. And we'll move on to the Packers-Bears in Chicago, which was a very good game. And my favorite part of the game was when Rodgers – did you see that when Rodgers scored a touchdown?
Yeah,
he screamed, I still own you.
I still own you.
Rodgers snaps it quick. Pressure coming. Scrambles to his right. Pumps and runs. Aaron Rodgers is inside the pylon. Touchdown Packers. It's Rodgers running for the score.
Right on cue, Joe. He said after the game there was this lady in like the second row like flipping him off with both hands. And that's when he started screaming. For some reason that lady just pissed him off. And that's when he did that. And I just thought that was the most like savage thing in the world just to do that. Because it's true. I mean, statistically speaking, Aaron Rodgers does own the Chicago Bears.
You can't flip. You can't. After the dude just fakes out the whole team and then has a rushing touchdown like that, and then you flip him. Like, how are you going to flip him off?
I think Bears fans are angry. Rodgers didn't even have that good of a game. He had a very average game, a little below average. But Rodgers is 22-5 against the Bears in his career. He owns the Chicago
Bears.
Bears.
That's crazy. He does own them. Yeah,
It's just very crazy to see like a athlete like that just scream like that. I still own you. I still own you.
Yeah, I don't.
Like imagine a Bears fan having the opposing quarterback just scream that at you.
Yeah, you should just pack it up and leave at that point.
Yeah, I mean Justin Fields had a good game. It was his first time playing Rodgers. So he made a couple, early mistakes. He had an early interception, but he's still learning. I still like Justin Fields.
Yeah, he looks good. He does look good, and I like him.
For some reason, the Bears just can't beat the Packers. And, they play again in December in Green Bay, like a Sunday night game, and it's going to be the same outcome.
Most likely, yeah. Especially if, it's at Lambeau. Yeah, definitely.
Another positive was when both Bears running backs went out, and the rookie Khalil Herbert came in. He had 97 yards and a touchdown, which was good because the Bears running back was getting thin with Montgomery and Williams out.
Yeah, is there any timetable for Montgomery to come back?
I don't think they announced it, but Khalil Herbert looked really good as a rookie.
Because he was having a good year.
He was.
To start off, and then he got hurt, which sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks because he was on my fantasy team too, but
yeah,
whatever.
What can you do?
Nothing.
So the next game up was the Colts-Texans. This was a blowout. The Colts won 31-3. The halftime was only 10-3 Indy, so it was close, and then the Colts kind of pulled away. Carson Wentz had a really good game. Davis Mills did not. The Texans did not. Jonathan Taylor had a fantastic game, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only had 14 carries to do that, which was very impressive.
Poor Texans.
And Taylor barely got the ball the first half, which is really weird. He only had like 2 or 3 carries in the first half, and then he picked it up. Wentz had a fantastic game, 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 1 bad pass. It really helped that T.Y. Hilton was back. His first game of the season, he had 80 yards. He only played half his snaps. And it was a good one for the Colts. The Texans look miserable.
Yeah, I mean, is there even another word you could say about other than miserable? Like
no.
What? Like you can't even. There's no other word for the Texans.
No. David Mills is not the answer. He had 2 interceptions, 243 yards. No, there's really no highlights. I guess the only highlight was Brandon Cooks had 89 yards, and that was really it. The Texans even really run the ball. And they actually another positive for Texans. They ran the ball, which usually don't. And Mark Ingram had 73 yards, and that was really the only positive thing for the Texans. So the Colts really dominated them in every aspect of the game.
Poor guys.
It was a must-win for the Colts to get back in, to relevancy. So another game, we had the Rams against the Giants. The Rams were down 3-0 at one point, and then they scored 38 straight points as they expected to. I'm a Ram fan, so we usually start off really slow for whatever reason. And in the second quarter, it was just domination. And Aaron Donald is a beast. At one point, he literally picked up Devontae Booker and threw him to the ground.
Yeah. That was a game I was watching, and Daniel Jones looks terrible.
He looked very lost that game. He usually doesn't look that lost, but he had nobody to throw to.
Yeah,
Tony went out. Yeah, Galladay was out. Saquon was gone.
The first drive of the game, he caught a pass, first down, and then he just ran to the sideline and went to the locker room. And then did he come back? I don't think he came back. Right?
Tony?
And did he come back in the game?
No, he was ruled out. No, the Rams just dominated. Stafford only threw the ball 6 times in the second half, and then we put in our backup John Wolford for most of the fourth quarter because this was a blowout. And after the game, McVay and Cooper Kupp both said Cooper Kupp had a great game, by the way, as he always does.
Yeah.
But they said the offense wasn't where they wanted to be after scoring 38 points, so which is scary to hear for other teams if they weren't satisfied.
Yeah.
Because Stafford did look a little off and they looked a little confused, but the Giants just looked really bad. They're all still dealing with a ton of injuries, though.
That is true, but their defense is trash.
But usually it's not that bad, but this season's been pretty bad.
I mean, it just felt like like every other drive, there was just someone just 20 yards down the field, just wide open in the middle, and it was always Cooper Kupp. Like how?
No, Cooper Kupp is.
I just don't know how the Giants that's who he's looking to throw to, and he's still open. Like
one of the best young receivers in the league. Had 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and him and Matt Stafford are really connecting this year, like they were supposed to. And that was the thought process when they brought in Stafford in August, was having Cooper Kupp be a new duo.
Robert Woods got a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a short little slant.
Yes.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Stafford had a good game as well. He did throw an interception, but that's fine. Another game was the Chiefs at Washington football team. The Chiefs blew them out, even though trailing at halftime. But Mahomes is not looking like Mahomes. Like he had another couple picks, which really aren't his fault. Tyreek Hill can't catch the ball apparently anymore. That 2 of them were off his hands and right into the Washington defender. And Mahomes also had a fumbled snap, and the Chiefs basically picked up in the second half and blew out Washington like they were supposed to do.
Which is good because it wasn't looking good in the first half.
No, it wasn't. But the Chiefs definitely picked it up, and Washington's a mess off the field, on the field. The only good thing is they retired Sean Taylor's number in the middle at halftime.
Did you see Patrick Mahomes' brother?
Yeah, he tweeted and apologized.
Yeah,
I guess he didn't notice that there was giant numbers that were gated off, and he shouldn't do a TikTok dance on them.
That kid needs to disappear from social media forever.
Yeah, no, that was
after what he did at the Ravens game.
Yes, it somehow got worse.
Come on, bro! You just look like an idiot.
You
just look like a straight up idiot.
It somehow got worse. Somehow,
he's
dancing on the.
Yeah,
it's just horrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
The Chiefs looked better, and I don't know, it's going to be a long season for them, but I think they should pick it up because they had a fantastic second half. Another afternoon game was the Vikings at Panthers. The Vikings won 34-28, and it was a good back-and-forth game, and the Panthers did come back, and they ended up losing, but Sam Darnold didn't look great. He looked better as the game went on, but Kirk Cousins had a great game, 3 touchdowns, 373 yards.
Yeah, he's playing well this year.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook also had a great game, 140 yards and 1 touchdown. But the Panthers are kind of falling apart.
Yeah, my take of them being legit is kind of old now.
Yeah, no, they're kind of falling apart, which is surprising because Sam Darnold had such a great start to the year, but now everything's kind of getting back to reality for Carolina.
Him and DJ Moore had a really nice connection going on those first 2 weeks, and now it's just nothing.
It was a very winnable game for Carolina, which is even not good for them. Moving on, the most disappointing game of the week I feel like was the Chargers-Ravens. That was supposed to be a great game, and probably one of Herbert's worst games of his career. The Ravens blew them out 34-6 in Baltimore, and it was a pair of 4-1 teams going at it, and it was just lopsided, completely lopsided. The Chargers couldn't do anything.
I know the Ravens' defense was really good that game.
The Chargers couldn't stop the run, which is surprising. They just couldn't. Le'Veon Bell had a touchdown. They had Devontae Freeman, Latavius Murray, and they just ran all over him. They had 3 rushing touchdowns.
It's just crazy when you can have all those guys running, and then your quarterback can also run just as good as the rest of them. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, Herbert had a horrible game, probably one of the worst of his young career. But he had issues. Big issue was O-line. The Ravens just kept blitzing, and the Chargers couldn't pick it up. There are some drops by Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, but overall, Herbert missed some throws. They couldn't catch the ball. It was just an overall horrible game.
But I guess the good thing you can say is for him, it's probably a learning or stepping stone, whatever you want to call it. It's a learning curve.
Yeah. I mean, playing Lamar, because, Lamar, former MVP, it was definitely a learning experience for Herbert.
I'm sure he'll bounce back and he'll probably be just fine.
Yeah. Another game was the Bengals-Lions in Cincinnati. The Lions still have not won a game. And I figured after their coach, Dan Campbell, started crying on the press conference Wednesday that the Lions were going to go out there and just win. I was so confident in the Lions. Your coach is crying. It's a whole mess. Cincinnati, you could beat Cincinnati. It's possible. And just got destroyed. I mean, Jared Goff looks horrible.
Yeah, the Bengals look really good.
Joe Burrow looks great.
So does Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow had 3 touchdowns and a pick, 271 yards. Joe Mixon had a good game, 94 yards on 18 carries. Jamar Chase had 4 receptions for 97 yards. Goff did horrible, 202 yards and an interception. DeAndre Swift had a garbage time touchdown, but he did have a touchdown. And that was really most of the game. It was just all over, Cincinnati all over.
Yeah, they really put Jared Goff in
the Rams kind of just shipped him off.
I feel bad for him, but at the same time,
the Lions are overall though just a horrible team.
Yeah, I mean they have been for the past couple of years. They've just been just terrible.
Yeah, they haven't won a playoff game in a long time. They haven't won a playoff game with
Sanford. And they always seem to get a Thanksgiving Day game, and
it's a tradition. Them and Dallas.
They just always lose.
If Dallas was 0-16, they're just gonna get a home Thanksgiving game. It's just a tradition. A surprising one was with the Raiders this week after their firing or John Gruden resigning over his emails about the commissioner and other players. I'm surprised the Raiders won. Must have been a very emotional week for them. But, I don't know. They played good. Derek Carr had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 341 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a great game, actually. Josh Jacobs had 53 yards, 16 carries, and a touchdown. Henry Ruggs had a good game, which is good for second-year sophomore. He had 97 yards and a touchdown. Bridgewater had a good game, too. 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 3 interceptions, though, which is not good.
Yeah. That's not going to cut it.
No, but overall, a good one for the Raiders after a very emotional, crazy week for the organization. Another late afternoon game was the Cardinals and Browns. The Browns had a million injuries throughout the game. Kareem Hunt's out 3 weeks now, and Nick Chubb was also out, and the Cardinals looked legit, as they have been the first 5 weeks. Kyler Murray did very good. So did DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Christian Kirk. They all did very well. They kind of ran over the Browns. Baker looked off because of his shoulder.
Yeah.
He took a hard hit.
I saw that.
He took a very hard hit. So a lot of people had the Browns winning this game the entire week going up to the game, and it wasn't even close. 37-14 final in Cleveland. Another really good game was the Cowboys-Patriots.
Yeah,
the last
that was
5
a good
minutes
game.
of that game was crazy. Trevon Diggs is an animal. He's a great corner for the Cowboys. Mac Jones made an interesting 75-yard bomb with 2 minutes left, and it was a really good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Very good.
And Dak looks really good. He had 445 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick, and ended up winning in overtime on a pass to CeeDee Lamb, who looked really good as well. He's really turning into a really good young receiver in the league. He's definitely getting respect now. And it was a good one for Dallas. They won in overtime. The Sunday night game last night was the Steelers-Seahawks. First game without Russell Wilson after hurting his thumb. Geno
Smith, man.
First start in over 1,400 days. The
Crazy.
former Jet.
And Giant, right? Wasn't it Giants too?
Charger. Yep. Steelers won 23-20 in a very close game. Very, very, very close.
Yeah.
And it was one, bad play by Geno Smith in overtime.
Yeah, it seemed like he did have a clear lane to run, but then just TJ Watson just came out of nowhere and
TJ Watson
and just stripped the ball literally from nowhere. He just came from like the shadows and was just like, nope, give me that.
No,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how do you have the peripheral vision to even see that and then take the ball? Like it was that was nuts.
No, Seattle definitely made it the game though. Metcalf and Lockett's production went down, obviously, with Russ out.
Yeah.
They did not have that good game. Metcalf had 58 yards. Lockett only had 35. The Seahawks are going to miss Russ for a few weeks. That's very big for them.
Big Ben, man, he was finding Deontay Johnson all game. He was open all the time. They can't get Claypool involved at all. He just
No, they can't.
I just watching the game last night. It's just like every play, it's just him, just like he's just blocking. He's just out there just blocking.
No, especially with Juju out for the season, you would think Claypool would get involved more.
They're just not either. They're not running plays. It doesn't look like they're running plays for him. And then the 2 times that they tried to throw the ball to him, there are 2 guys on him. Like, what is he gonna do with 2 defenders on him? He's not gonna catch the ball.
No. The Steelers still aren't impressing me. They barely beat Seattle without Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
At home in Pittsburgh.
I know.
The Monday night game tonight is the Bills visiting Tennessee. I expect the Bills to win.
I would think so. I think they're going to win.
I think they're going to win too because Buffalo's looking really good, and so is Josh Allen, and the Titans are playing very average football this season.
Allen leans forward, and I don't think he got there. Josh Allen looked like he slipped down.
Yeah.
But it should be a good game regardless. I like seeing Derrick Henry play, and I like seeing Josh Allen play. So I think that is all for Week 6 football. It was a very good week.
Yeah, a lot of good games and a lot of good performances from quarterbacks.
Yes.
Besides Justin Herbert and Daniel Jones.
Yep.
Poor Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Dan Jones is in a bad situation in New York, but he's still a quarterback.
And anyway, we got about 10 minutes left, so I figure we'll run through the very small amount of playoff baseball that we have left and the NBA season, which starts tomorrow, which I personally cannot wait for. I can't wait to watch the Bucks play tomorrow. But yeah, the Dodgers are down 0-2 to the Braves after back-to-back walk-off wins, which last night could have been prevented because Trey Turner could have made that play, but he didn't.
It was Seager.
Was it? I thought it was Trey Turner.
No, Seager. The shift was on.
Still, he could have made the play either way.
Kenley's glove tipped it.
I still think he could have made the play. I mean, it's a very easy
Seager is not known
ball.
for his defense. Neither is Trey Turner. The Dodgers have good hitters. Defensively, in the infield, it's not good. Outfield is when they do better. I thought Dave Roberts overmanaged the game completely. It's an 8th inning in a playoff game. Steven Souza Jr. should not be in right field. Regardless, he should not be playing.
I don't know why he's even on the roster.
Dave Roberts overmanaged this game. It took him this long. To be fair, he hasn't overmanaged any games this year. These playoff games besides this game. The bullpen was fine. You couldn't have Gratterall 7th, Trinan 8th, Kenley 9th. He overthought it. Put Julio Urias in, the game 5 starter. Julio let up 2 runs. Julio doesn't go out of the pen ever.
Yeah.
And it was just overmanaged. That's what it came down to.
It just seems like he's like trying to like nitpick all these like the matchups, like all the matchups with like lefties and righties and bring in.
It worked for game 5 against the Giants. This was the first game Dave Roberts overmanaged this postseason. I still have confidence. The Dodgers were down 2-0 last year in NLCS to the Braves. They're back home in LA for 3. Buehler on the mound tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Must win tomorrow for the Dodgers. I believe they could tie the series up and make it a best of 3.
It's not over. It's definitely not over.
No, the Dodgers are always down in the playoffs and then come back. It's very weird. That's how they play.
Plus, I think the Braves are really used their pitching, to be honest with you, because like
Trey Turner was 2 feet for hitting one out on top of the ninth too. I think the Dodgers are slowly getting back in the groove, but Dave Roberts cost us a game last night. Going back to Steven Souza Jr. playing right field in 8th inning of a playoff game.
You're never gonna let that.
If they made AJ Pollock made a throw to second base, it would have been out. Play at home out. If there was anybody but those two, it would have been fine. But 2 horrible throws. It cost us the game. That's really what it came down to. It cost us the game.
Yeah.
And Scherzer said after the game that his arm was dead, which is not good for us either. No. But he said if he's on normal rest, he'll be fine. And I think he'll get his normal rest now. They're not going to push him. But it's not a good thing to hear one of your aces say his arm is dead after a game when it's only game 2.
It's definitely not over, though, because it just seems like the Braves, like, it's like they answer back, but then towards the end of the game, it's like nobody really was doing anything until, of course, like another walk-off. Like, what are the odds of another walk-off win?
No, now it's back in LA, and I think the Dodgers should take control of the next 2 and then make it a best of 5. Because, again, we were down 2-0 last year to the same Braves in NLCS.
With Ronald Acuna, too. And
yeah.
They don't have him this year, so.
Yeah, 2 walk-off wins for the Braves, and the first 2 in Atlanta. The first one was a bullpen game, and the second one was Scherzer. But the Red Sox play tonight. That's 1-1, going back to Boston for 3. Boston exploded in game 2 with 2 grand slams in 2 innings, which was crazy. I think it's anybody's series. I rather have Boston and Houston for personal reasons. And I think that I think it's going to go 6 or 7 games easily.
I do. I think the Red Sox are going to lose tonight. I just had that. I have a feeling Eduardo has not really been that great this postseason. He was terrible in the Rays series. But I mean, when he came in, what was it, game 4? Did he pitch game 4, right? Versus the Rays?
Yeah.
I think he did. He pitched well. But when he pitched earlier in that series, he looked really bad. Really bad. I mean, so did everybody else. Chris Sale looked really bad. Pivetta looked really bad. But yeah, I think the Red Sox are going to lose tonight just because of him. The Astros do have Jose Urquidy pitching, who's good. He's a good young pitcher. He made a name for himself in the 2018 season. I think it was when he debuted, 2018. So he's a good young pitcher, but I think the Astros are going to steal one tonight. But then I think the Red Sox are going to win again and just even it back up.
I mean, the Astros are used to stealing, right? So,
That's-
it's a sore topic.
that is true. That was
This
good. I like that.
Thank you.
That was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are used to stealing.
So it should be a good game tonight between us two at 8 o'clock in Fenway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I think that's all for baseball for now. Next week we'll
Yep.
have some outcomes and we'll have a World Series breakdown and predictions next Monday. Hopefully the series should be over by then.
So we have about 5 minutes left to discuss the NBA season, which is my favorite season. Hands down, I love basketball. I'm a basketball nerd. I can't wait for the season to start. I really can't. Nets, Bucks. I can't wait.
It should be a good game.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch basketball tomorrow.
I think the Bucks will take it tomorrow night 'cause they're putting up the banner, and if it was in Brooklyn, I think you would have lost. Just how it goes. But I think I think it'll be Bucks Lakers tomorrow. I think the Lakers will win.
No, Warriors, Lakers, right?
No, I'm saying Bucks Lakers, like the only 2 games tomorrow. I think it's be Bucks win, Lakers win.
Oh, okay. All right, I see what you mean.
The only 2 games tomorrow. 2 great games tomorrow.
I think the Warriors Lakers game is going to be better than the Bucks Nets game.
I expect the Lakers to struggle the first couple weeks, just chemistry. I expect everyone to freak out, and I expect to get better. That's my prediction. It would not surprise me if we lose tomorrow night. I'll start panicking after a month, not a few weeks, because it's just like the chemistry.
Yeah.
Basketball is you need chemistry for your team to win, and the Lakers have so many new players, so many big egos, personalities. You're putting them all together. It's gonna take a little bit to get used to, and the Warriors are a very good team. Basically the same roster as they usually have.
Yep, Curry looks really good. But Clay's not back.
No, Clay's not back. Draymond will be playing. Wiggins, Jordan Poole, who was supposed to have a big year. Jordan Poole.
I think it said Clay is like out until like December or something like that.
I think he was Thanksgiving. No, I think Siakam was Thanksgiving.
Who cares about Siakam?
I like Siakam.
That dude only has one move and he just spins.
He's good for fantasy.
True. Yeah, because he gets rebounds and points and blocks, but that dude is like a one trick pony. He just does a spin move and that's it.
No, but people don't stop it. They know exactly what's coming and they still don't do anything about it.
He's still in the Raptors, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I thought he was going to get moved because he said he wasn't happy. He didn't want to be there anymore.
So, yeah, they're looking for Christmas Day possibly for Clay.
Okay. That's not bad. That's probably a really nice time for him to come back is Christmas Day. I mean, that's a bunch of hype
for them. This was a few weeks ago. It wouldn't surprise me if they hold them out to early January. But two great games tomorrow, though, definitely. And then I believe a lot of teams, and they're probably like 9 games Wednesday night.
Yep. I can't wait to watch basketball tomorrow.
Yeah. Wednesday night has a good slate of games, too. Bulls, Pistons.
Stop. That's a joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Celtics next should be a good game.
Yeah. Should be a good game.
Sixers, Pelicans should be it should be all right. Kings, Trailblazers are a good game. Nuggets, Suns should be a good game. That's a good late game.
I can't wait. NBA officially back. And with that being said, that is all we have time for today. We appreciate everybody that watches this. And if you want to see more, there will be more episodes coming. Definitely. But if you want to learn more about the communications program here, which is where we are doing this in the top floor of the Van Wagenen Library and the production studio, you can visit www.cobleskill.edu and you can find all of our information there, everything about the communications program. And then on the screen, you can visit any of these outlets to just keep up with anything that's going on with the program. And with that being said, we thank you again for watching. Please like this video, comment if there's anything we should do to improve it. And that's all I got.
That's all I got. All right. Thank you, everyone.